Welcome to San Juan, Puerto Rico, the host for the 2021 FIBA Women's AmeriCup. It's day number 7, and we are done with group play. It's win or go home as the quarterfinal round begins here inside the Roberto Clemente Coliseum. Matchup number 1 on the day has U.S. Virgin Islands pinned up against the #1 team in the world, Team USA. How these two teams get here? Well, USA controlled Group B. They are the top seed. This is a look at the scheduling here for the rest of the day. These are the final 8 teams that advanced out of the group phase. 10 teams to begin with. These are the 8 left playing for the FIFA Women's AmeriCup. Welcome inside. I'm Despina Barton, joined by Natalia Melendez, the former Puerto Rico national team player. She's the Puerto Rico national treasure, I like to say here. We are in your backyard. What is on the table for us today?
It's going to be a very exciting game. As you said, the one that wins go to the semifinals and secure that spot in the pre-qualification tournament in Australia, but the one that lost, it will be eliminated and not going to be able to go to that pre-qualification tournament. USA, you know, in the case of Virgin Islands, this is a team that has been working really hard throughout the tournament. They play bigger than they are. Their post players are very offensive. They can really put a lot of pressure during defense, but today they're going to have their hands full because they are going to be facing the #1 team in the world, USA, a team that is very balanced and it has a lot of power down the post. So that's going to be one of their main barriers today. How will they control the big players from the USA?
And Natalia, this isn't the normal Team USA that Coach Gongba is going to go up against. This is a group of collegiate athletes, all NCAA stars here, being led by head coach Don Staley. And a fun little storyline for everybody to follow at home. We have a pair of sisters that will be on the court at the same time. Number 14 for Team USA, their captain, Leah Boston, will go up against her sister, Alexis Boston, wearing the same number, number 14, for the U.S. Virgin Islands.
Imagine the pride that their parents are feeling right now, watching probably from home. I don't know if they are at the Virgin Islands or if they are at the USA, but you know, it's amazing. You can see they have done an amazing job with their daughters. Having 2 of them playing in this level have to be wonderful. And what a great story for FIBA.
The 2 were together at South Carolina. Alexis, the team manager, Aaliyah, one of the young stars. So they go head-to-head here. But before we get started, let's start off with some tradition. We've got the national anthem and flag representation, starting with the U.S. Virgin Islands, followed by the USA.
And please remain standing for the national anthem of USA.
The two teams will wave from a distance as they normally meet at midcourt here in Natalia and greet each other and exchange gifts. Unfortunately, COVID has altered that tradition here, but we will take a look now at the officiating crew that will be on the floor today for game number 1 here of day number 7. Virgin Islands, the bottom of Group A, taking on USA, the top of Group B here in the quarterfinals. And here they are, our referees.
Puerto Rico, Cuba, and Puerto Rico, Alexis, Juliet, and Joni.
A few words there with Don Staley before jump ball. And we'll go ahead and take a look at the starting 5 for the U.S. Virgin Islands. This has been the consistent go-to 5 for this team throughout the tournament.
Molina Williams, Imani Tate, Lanis Buck, and Natalie Day, and Anisha George. Mary Jones Francis, Matthew Gongoba, Boston Richards, and Coach Gongoba. Yes, she is Gongoba's mother.
And she is coaching her daughter on the floor today. That is Coach Gongoba, the former U.S. Virgin Islands senior national team member, former WNBA player, chosen 31st overall in 1997. College career at George Washington. Still holds the record, Natalia, for points in a season at George Washington. And her team's going up against a very stout Team USA. This is their go-to as well. Diamond Miller, a part of the starting 5, but she will likely get some more rest today, so we won't see her.
It makes sense. Ashley Owusu, Veronica Boyton, and Nasara Hillman, Ryan Howard, Alaya Boston, Henderson, Brownberger, Jones, Miller, Prince, Kunanen, Coach Staley.
And Coach John Stanley, everybody knows her name. She's the head coach of South Carolina as well, led that team to the Final Four, and she'll be guiding Team USA to the Tokyo Olympics next month. Played for Team USA, has 5 gold medals, 3 as a player, 2 as an assistant coach. And this USA team has won 6 straight Olympic golds. We talked about this, though, Natalia. The group we're about to see here take the floor is not likely what Team USA is sending to Tokyo.
This is a group of the best players from the NCAA, and you know, I think it was very smart from the USA program, since you know their professional players are playing in the WNBA right now or in Europe. So bringing these girls here, knowing that they have the talent and the caliber to compete and win this tournament is amazing. What a better way to expose them out there than to bring them here with the 9 best teams from the whole continent. Plus, you know, and we are all getting to know them. Yes, so we do have a chance to watch them in the NCAA, but it's not the same as watching all of them together and see what they can do playing against women and professional players.
And a reminder to all those that are tuning in, this is the 2021 FIBA Women's AmeriCup. Invited the 10 top teams in the Americas and the Caribbean nations. We are down to 8 teams. These 8 teams are now fighting to earn a spot for a pre-qualifier for the 2022 World Cup in Australia. That's why you are seeing this high level of competition. There's a lot on the line for these teams. And when I talked to Coach Gongoba before the game, she said that it's going to take a lot of discipline from her team to combat the stout Team USA. She's asking them to be aggressive on the attack, get to the free throw line, get back on D, and you have to limit Team USA to just 1 shot attempt each possession.
Yeah, that's exactly what I think they should be doing, especially getting back on defense. And the board, you know, topic, theme, it's a delicate one because we've known USA have been dominating the boards throughout the tournament. So there's a lot of work today for the big players from the Virgin Island that plays in the paint.
And for Team USA, Coach Staley told me that she wants her team to be playing the best basketball of the tournament. They're just getting to full strength. She is challenging them to have their best quarter, and some of those defensive goals look like holding this Virgin Islands team to single digits.
Yeah, that's exactly what they needed to do. She knows she have the players to establish a very fast-paced game and put a lot of effort in defense, and that's what we're going to see from USA. A lot of pressure. 40 minutes.
Burton and Bow, top of the key. Owusu And this is Boston's first take. She'll kick with it. Good look. It goes in, and that's Aaliyah Boston. Virgin Islands moving it around. Get a good look from Day in the corner. And the Big Ten Defensive Player of the Year will take the shot herself. It's good.
Yeah, the defense, you know, went under the defense, and she had space. Her first two.
Lanice Bao is the captain for the U.S. Virgin Islands team, who often comes in undersized, scrappy. They do the little things. That's part of their identity. Ryan Howard, pull up Jay on the free throw line, in and out. She's the one that is shooting the best beyond the arc for Team USA through the tournament. George, taking Boston. No good. Feed goes inside. Hillman tries to make a play. And this Virgin Islands team, Natalia, they like to play free. It's part of their, you know, their MO out there. They have a lot of fun.
Yes, they will only go to their system if they have to. But first option will always be running down the court and use the fast break. You know, and it makes sense. You know, when you play against a team against USA and your offense rely on players like George and Natalie and Williams in the post, it's really tough to play half-court offense against them.
Owusu driving left, step back, pulls it.
Nice.
Good for Owusu, the Maryland guard. Owusu staying on Bao. Some space. In and out as Burton comes down with the board. Veronica Burton, the Big Ten Defensive Player of the Year from Northwestern. Every time I was researching one of these players, they were all Americans, all former McDonald's. You know, their accolades were so similar that to think that they haven't played together, they've been in the same arena for a very long time.
Yes, and most of them have been in the junior national team for a while, which, you know, give them another you know, optical in a tournament like this. They've been since the U15, you know, national team. They've been active there, and you know, and it's just it's normal for them to wear that USA uniform.
Imani Tate from three, it's short. Scooping up the board was Hillman. Burton runs the lane. And a foul will be called against Aaliyah Boston, the captain from South Carolina.
And Tate knew that if Boston would have, you know, got that pass, forget about it, it was going to be 2 points. That's exactly what you have to do against her. You got to front her. She cannot receive the ball. And if she does, somebody needs to help the defense, double her.
Aaliyah Boston's been leading the way in scoring for Team USA, averaging 13.3 points. But lethal, Natalia, like you said, when she gets the ball on the block.
Yeah, she's unstoppable, and not only with this Virgin Island team. This is something she's been doing the whole tournament.
Natalie Day, the new mom, gave birth 4 months ago, and her child is here in the stands with her husband. Has made a return to be able to compete with her U.S. Virgin Islands team, and the first shot goes down. Imani Tate.
And Tate is the go-to in their offense. She will try to push everything in offense.
Feed is off to Tate.
Too much traffic there. That's Virgin Islands' second turnover of the game.
Richards, number 5, Taylor Jones, and number 12, Amisha George.
USA. Owusu waiting for the cutter. Howard, free throw line, yes. 4 for Howard.
And that was a great screen by Hillman.
Battling, big push. George there for the putback. It's good from the weak side.
Anisha George.
As always, leaving from the second chances she gets from those offensive rebounds.
Oh, Owusu with the fadeaway.
I'm telling you, Owusu have so many offensive tools. She's like all around when it comes to offense.
Day's feed not good. Burton on the run. Owusu trailing. Perfect fast break execution for Team USA. And we see Ashley Jones checking in. And a timeout is called by the Virgin Islands. Natalia, they find themselves down by 10.
Yes, the USA, it's looking very comfortable running down the floor, and those, fast breaks that they are doing. Virgin Islands need to stop the players from USA before half court and put some pressure on the guards.
Everybody had an off day yesterday, so a lot of these teams getting some much needed rest, some physical treatment if they needed it.
Yeah, it's been very, very intense for everybody involved, especially for the players. We've been saying this throughout the week, how physical and hard it is to play FIBA basketball. The contact is allowed many times, and it's just fair that everybody gets a chance to recover their bodies and use their trainers and get their massages and just sleep a little later, maybe.
This year, unlike any other, with the COVID precautions and the bubble in place at the team's hotels, so no sightseeing, no fun activities.
You were there. How was it? They have times?
Yes, so there's assigned times for the pool and for the gym, if you wanted to get on the treadmill or lift some weights. Very rigid scheduling on purpose to make sure that everyone's protected and safe during their allotted times.
I only saw the, on Instagram, Team Puerto Rico, they were laying on the grass in front of the rooms, just getting some sun. They were getting tan, so probably that's something, some of the teams were doing as well.
Yeah, I think everybody wanted some vitamin D after, the only light of day we see is in the bus to the gymnasium and then on the way back to the hotel.
And it's been raining also. Yesterday was, a little bit better. Points 3 and 4 for Aliyah Boston.
Jones, that one slipped away. Good hands by Hillman. She'll feed Jones up front. Coming to play D is Melina Williams to slow her down. Back to Jones. We're moving with Burton now. Lane open beautifully for the 20-year-old guard.
Yeah, she's brilliant. She's a genius handling the ball and balancing everything in the court. She saw the space, she attacked. Effective.
Amani Tate, they know, has to get going, and that's a great way to start. She had a triple-double, nearly a triple-double versus Brazil. But what has been a struggle for this Virgin Islands team is their slow starts.
Always, and also that their rotation, it's, they have a long rotation, but most of their offense, most of their points comes from only, the starting 5 players. They don't have that much points from the bench. Imani.
Burton.
Great pass.
To Ryan on the wing. That's short, right into the hands of Jones. And the block from behind. Way to track it down.
Sophomore USA, entering number 16, Elisa Cooney
Another look as Ryan Howard hunts down Jones.
You know, she didn't lose her patience. She said, I got this. I'm going to keep, you know, running right next to her, and I'm going to try to block her. That's exactly what happened.
Brittany Matthew with the kiss off the glass. Another 2 for the Virgin Islands. On the floor now, Grace Berger from Indiana. Feeds Hillman. She tries to split through Day, knocked away. Berger comes up with it. Conan with the pick and roll. Nowhere to go. Berger has to get a shot up. Tate. Back out to Natalie Day. The lefty will draw it. Pulled down by Jones. Haley Jones from Stanford. Won a national championship with her Cardinal. Among other things, can shoot the ball really well. And Virgin Islands winning the last 2 trips on defense with a, you know, only allowing Team USA 1 shot. And it goes down. Imani Tate again.
And Tate
for
is giving,
2.
yeah, and Tate is giving the guards from the USA a hard time. She's attacking and she has some great move, but she's stronger.
They find Destiny Henderson in the corner. The Fort Myers native will miss her first 3. Matthew one-on-one with Berger. Berger sticks with it. Bow with the screen. Pull up J by Tate. No good. Rebound. Bow. And it's off. Those are those buckets they got to make, Natalia, right?
Yeah, those are the easy ones. But in you know, in the good part, they are touching those offensive rebounds, which is very hard to do. They just have to make them.
Melina Williams gives it a go. And Henderson pushes the ball forward. Whistle down near the paint.
Williams. It's Williams first.
And a full lineup change here for the Virgin Islands for the final 39.9 seconds in the first quarter. Berger tries to feed. She does. She gets it into Prince, and then it's taken away. And a jump ball.
And I like what Virgin Island is doing. They are collapsing in the paint. Every time one of the big girls from USA receives the ball in the post, the girl from the opposite side comes and helps.
Gongba, shots missed. Henderson, the smallest one on the court, fighting for it. Berger pushes things up. Haley Jones, cross court, intercepted. Barry moving it up for Virgin Islands, and not before the team steps out of bounds.
And right now it seems like USA is playing the Virgin Island game. A lot of run and gun.
Henderson will take it herself. It's backed away. Anisha George, get out of my house.
A little contact before that, but wow. Great effort from George.
First, number 12, Anisha George.
D. Henderson, 7 points, 4 rebounds are her average. She's shooting 41% from the field, 53% from the three-point line, and from the free throw line. She's 66% in this tournament.
2 drop for Henderson. 3 seconds to play with. Bow gets the final touch for Virgin Islands. It won't go. So after the first quarter of play, it's Team USA 24, Virgin Islands 10, Natalia.
Yeah, the truth is we have to talk about what Virgin Islands have been presenting so far. They are putting a lot of pressure full court to the USA team, and USA lose, look a little lost in offense. Besides what's been affected to them in the post, they have not been able to find those spots and those gaps to attack. There's the percentages way higher for the USA. They are shooting 78%, Virgin Islands 33%. And the rebounds, 11 for USA, 7 for the Virgin Islands. A big difference here are the points in the paint, 12 for USA, 4 for Virgin Islands. Some of the replays there. Owusu.
She didn't need any warm-up. That was one of her first 2 shots in the game. So lethal. Ashley Owusu, the 20-year-old guard from Maryland. All Big Ten first team, freshman of the year.
And she plays like, with a lot of patience, and she doesn't lose control of anything that she does. I love her offensive mind, how she's always looking to attack and to be effective, but if not, she's a great passer as well.
A kiss off the glass there for Brittany Matthew. Imani Tate with 6 points for the Virgin Islands.
What a move there.
Berger, pull-up jumper. Grace Berger, the Indiana senior. All Big Ten first team. We'll see more of her as she led the nation in triple doubles last season. This Team USA is going for back-to-back gold medals at the FIBA Women's AmeriCup. They actually haven't lost a game in the last 2 AmeriCups. Knocked away by Day. We're moving. Bow shot up, it rolls out. Konane, pump fake, sees a lane, will go up against George. And George picks up her 2nd team foul.
And that's something that it was on my notes, something that Virgin Islands need to take care of. There you see the replay. It's not getting into foul trouble. Because besides George and Williams, they really don't have, that other offensive top player in the game. Imani, yes, she plays in the 4 sometimes, but she's a guard. She can play from the 1 to the 3. She's a universal player. George needs to be careful because this team needs her all game.
And she was taken off the court there during those free throws. Henderson pushes. Jones cutting to the basket. Clean up by Konane. No, it won't go. Tate one-on-one with Prince. She'll split 2 defenders and be unsuccessful. Henderson surveying. Jones calls for the screen. Takes it herself. That's deflected by Tate. Natalie Day, the lefty. Gets it to Williams.
Nice.
Beautiful cut.
Her first 2 points.
Prince? Yes, the hook is good.
And more of that. Every time USA goes to their post players, boom, something good happens.
Can't say enough about Sedona Prince and her comeback to the game. In 2019, Natalia, she had broken 2 bones in her leg. And then it's been an uphill battle to return to this type of basketball. Matthew, stuck. Out to Tate. 3 seconds on the shot clock. Up in time, Prince pulls it down and gets it to her teammates. Konane and Day fighting on the block. Konane gets a look. Burgers is better. Put back. Good. Berger rewarded for her effort.
Very aggressive, and she was there fighting with Natalie Day.
Williams, free throw line, sinks it.
And Williams had that space, but it was because Natalie Day set a screen for her and give her a little space. If Virgin Island can hit those mid-range shots, they have a possibility to keep this game close, because their problem so far has been their percentages. They are working so hard in defense. You know, USA is having trouble establishing their offense in the fast break and in the half court. But the thing with Virgin Island is they are not scoring enough. And shots have been comfortable. Not comfortable, they have been responsible shots, you know, high percentage shots, but they're not making them, and it's have been their problem throughout the tournament.
Brown Turner, top of the key. Jones turns, spins, shakes her defender. And a throwaway by Tate.
That's their 8th turnover.
Henderson slowing up the offense for USA. Brown Turner, lefty with the roller. And Day is slow to get up for the Virgin Islands. George not expecting that pass. Berger, good. She's got 4 points today.
And Berger, you know, she plays really hard every second she's in the court, but something she does very well is that she knows how to move without the ball. She doesn't stand there waiting for the pass. She's constantly cutting from the opposite side through the baseline. She makes defense work really hard by moving with her. Because when you move without the ball, you are trying to get the ball for yourself, but you also open spaces for everybody else. So this is something Berger does very well.
I'll look at the statistics here and the difference between the two.
No 3-point yet.
Which we know Team USA can shoot the 3 ball. This team actually that the Virgin Islands is up against has the best free throw percentage. They are the highest scoring team in the tournament, leading all rebounding and assists, steals, and block shots.
Yes, they are averaging the most points. They are number 1. USA is averaging 97 points per game, followed by Canada, and then Brazil and Puerto Rico in the 4th position with 77. But in the 3-point percentage, USA is 3rd with 31%. Canada is 1st, Puerto Rico is 2nd. But also USA, it's leading the free throws made per game with 18. They go to the free throw line a lot.
You know who's not been to the free throw line yet? The Virgin Islands. That was one of Coach Gungba's keys. A blocking foul against Sedona Prince.
And she's not happy about it. She was just moving with the offense. Sometimes.
First, personal foul number 15, Sedona Prince.
Tate, one-on-one with Burton. She'll get it and arrive.
And that's the first 3-pointer of the game.
Berger with an answer on the other end. Natalie Day taking baseline on Jones and dribbles that off her foot.
Turnover number 9, that's Natalie's third. She continued to try to attack the baseline, which is her strength, but the defense is doing a good job closing that lane for her.
Natalie had a great game against Brazil. Led all scorers with 17 points. And then you have to combat Boston now on the other end on the paint. She's got 6 for Team USA, the young captain of this squad. Matthew with her own rebound. Tate one-on-one against Burton and a block.
The thing with Imani Tate is that because she, in the Centro Basket tournament, she gets to play the 3 and 4 position. Being a 2, she's stronger than most of the point guards. She can post, she can attack, she uses her shoulders. She can take them to the basket.
Williams. And we have a jump ball. Her and Boston fighting over it. They'll stay here with Virgin Islands.
Software USA entering number 13, Ronnie Howard.
So aggressive there on defense. It's what makes her such an outstanding player. Boston pushes forward. Sedona Prince is calling for it. Boston on the cut. It's going to be a turnover against USA.
And Tate was right there on the passing lane. USA have 5 turnovers.
The feed to George. Couldn't square up. Last touch by USA.
Software Virgin Islands entering number 5, Taylor Jones.
George waits for it right on the block, posting up and gets an easy one there over Prince.
She have 4.
USA passing around the horn, go inside to Boston. There's 3 blue jerseys collapsing on Boston, but on the outside, Brown Turner makes them pay with 3.
And that's the importance of hitting those open shots in the case of Brown. If Brown and the rest of the perimeter players from the USA keep hitting those, Virgin Islands will not be able to collapse on their post players, and they will have more space to work, maybe one-on-one.
Checking back in, Ashley Owusu, as Veronica Burton will go to the bench.
For Virgin Islands, turn number 11, Natalie Day.
Natalie Day back on the floor for the Virgin Islands, and a turnover, another one by Taylor Jones. Natalia, I got to plug our digital team here that is working the FIBA AmeriCup. They did a story with Sedona Prince and her tattoos and how she got into creating her own. She actually gave herself her own tattoos on her leg.
No, she draws her own, she does her own tattoos?
If you take another look at Sedona Prince's legs on her thighs, she is an artist and has tattooed herself.
She's practicing with herself.
Yes.
Talented girl. It's not easy to tattoo, let me tell you. I've seen a lot of people, and I know a lot of people that does tattoos, And I remember when I was in high school, I don't know about you, but I used to draw a lot of things on my, but they were not permanent. So she is probably really good.
Yes, you can follow our digital channel at AmeriCup W on Twitter and Instagram for that story. It should be coming out shortly. But yeah, not only an artist, an activist, a basketball player, these women are so talented.
And when we talk about Sedona Prince, you know, she have not only, she's not only living her league, her story, you know, her positive, she's not only living a great story in basketball. She have done so much outside what basketball is, and she's gained the respect of so many people. She's a very interested basketball player, and I really love when ballers are known for more than just basketball player. And she's young. She's young. I can see her leading a lot of movements in the future and really making an impact.
Leah Boston, the captain of this USA team, who, by the way, as a unit, is shooting 79% from the free throw line. Will miss a rare one there.
That's Elias Boston's first visit to the free throw line today.
Her older sister, Alexis, is on the other bench for the Virgin Islands.
Yes, if you see a Boston in Virgin Island and a Boston in USA, yes, they are sisters. It's not normal. I don't know what their parents are doing right now. They got to be turned into this, you know, during this game. But at the same time, the pride they are probably feeling right now, it's out of this world. And they knew this was going to be a possibility, that they were going to face each other. I wonder how was their conversation before the game.
They're super close, the two sisters are, and it was actually Alexis that served as the team manager for the South Carolina team. So, you know, together here in Puerto Rico, together but separate with all of the COVID bubble precautions, but together again at South Carolina.
Yes, and both of them were born in the Virgin Islands. It was just that eventually they moved to the States. These are island girls.
Deep breath, shot's good. Jones picks up Owusu full court. Owusu breezing past her with that sneaky speed. Owusu impresses me every game, Natalia. Every time we get to see more of her.
Because she has so many offensive tools and her, you know, I even like her. I don't know how this will sound in English. Her looks, she's not her looks, but when your eyes look so focused.
Yep, she's laser focused.
That's what it is. Thank you for helping me with my English.
For those of you that are just joining us, Natalia Melendez is obviously a Puerto Rico native here, and first language is Spanish. And Despina Barton, myself, I am from the U.S. First and only, you know, language is English. And Natalia and I are having a lot of fun as sport is bringing us together. And we're also embracing the cultural differences. Volleyball there, picked up by Boston. Ryan Howard. That outside threat that we saw hit 5 threes earlier in this contest. That one a step in from the three-point line. Tate Howard shakes her. Three-pointer. Won't go. Hillman with the board. Elbows to create some space.
That's Hillsman, third rebound of the game. Yes, ma'am.
And because it was the 5th team foul here for the Virgin Islands, Team USA will shoot free throws the rest of the quarter. And in FIBA play, you automatically get 2 free throws after the opposing team reaches 5 team fouls.
USA have been in 17 FIBA World Cups, 10 golds, 1 silver, and 2 bronze, and 10 Olympics. And later on, we're going to talk about the USA Players Medal leaders, that we have many of those.
Hillman hits both. She's got 6 points for Team USA. Gongba back on the floor, trying to set the screen there. Feed into George, taken away by Owusu. We're rolling with Boston.
Great pass.
Hillman called for it on the paint and draws the foul. Akima Richards, the creditor of that contact.
First, personal foul
Good pass.
22, Akima Richards.
And Naz Hillman, the 21-year-old from Michigan, originally from Cleveland, Ohio. First player at Michigan in Michigan's history to earn All-American honors. She was the captain for the U19 gold medal championship team at the 2019 FIBA World Cup. Like you said, Natalia, this U.S. team, in one level or another, has been playing with each other for some time.
And they have won every award available in the NCAA. Every award available. Plus, you know, I always said this, it's so hard to be an NCAA player. Why? Because you have so much responsibility as a student as well. And in order to balance that, you know, not a lot of people can do that. And you got to give credit to each one of them for that.
That was Lanice Bau's first point of the contest. She leads this team in assists with 7 against El Salvador and 6 rebounds yesterday. Or day 5, shall I say. Nobody played any basketball yesterday, Natalia. USA been able to keep the distance, 20-point separation as George picks up her 3rd personal foul.
First quarter finish at 24-10. Second one, it's going 21-15.
South Carolina, entering number 4, Molina Williams.
The team that loses today will go home. The team that wins will advance to the semifinals. And by winning, will also assure one of those first 4 spots that will allow them to go to the pre-qualification tournament in Australia, which is the qualification tournament for the FIBA World Cup. So this game is very important for both teams.
George off the floor now with the Virgin Islands with her 3rd foul. So you're looking at Imani Tate going at Ryan Howard. Floater, off back rim. Boston with the rebound. Howard pushing. Final 19 seconds. Trap comes. Brown Turner gets it. Owusu shot off the elbow. It's off. Tipped around. Final 6. Ryan Howard, deep 3. That one is short. Ball saved by Hillman, but no go for Team USA. After the first 20 minutes of action, it is Team USA 46, Virgin Islands 25. USA goes in smiling. They still haven't hit that benchmark, though, to hold Virgin Islands to single-digit scoring. We saw a bit more life from the Virgin Islands in the second quarter.
Yes, yeah, but USA is on their way to being their average again. 46 points in this first quarter is a lot of first half. It's a lot of points. They are shooting very well, 60% from the field. In the case of Virgin Island, only 34%. But look at those rebounds. Virgin Island, I think, have done an amazing job. They're everybody crushing the board and limiting USA, you know, to have second opportunity. So far, I think that's something positive they can take from the game.
I look at some of the best plays of the first half. Imani Tate doing everything she can for the Virgin Islands. She is their 25-year-old guard. And she is the one right now providing some life on offense.
See them, how they move the ball so well. Here we see the Virgin Island. Imani Tait posting one offensive rebound. Effective there for George. Pushing down the ball. And Owusu, she does a little bit, step back, a little bit of everything. I want her in my team every day. Every day. Great pass again, running down the lane. Owusu.
Veronica Burton there from Northwestern. And Imani Tate, she's leading the way for the Virgin Islands with 12 points. And Tate is the one that nearly hit a triple-double versus Brazil. She's coming off an El Salvador performance with 18 points and 5 rebounds. But she can't do it alone. A little assistance from Brittany Matthew there. And good thing she's not in foul trouble because her partner in crime, Anisha George, has 3.
Has 3, and well, but I knew that was going to be a possibility because I knew how hard that battle was going to be for her down. And she's the, in the post, right now she's the smallest, from the post players in the court against those big players from USA. So she needs to use her energy. She needs to push in order to be able to get some rebounds. So that was a possibility for the game. And now we have to see how coach handles that, and if she's going to start with her or what is she going to do.
Brown Turner feeding into Berger. Berger showed us her inside-outside game so far today.
20 points for the USA bench. Owusu, Berger doing their thing, making an impact in the game. There you see Boston again. Virgin Island only have 3 points from the bench, something we spoke about before the game, how there is a long rotations with Virgin Island, but the points they make are concentrated in the starting 5 players.
All right, it is halftime, and you know what that means. We're going to show you the top 5 plays from day number 5. Go ahead, enjoy these ones as we catch you up to speed. Whalen going to work. Corella's on the block. Wants the foul. Whalen there to put it back. Feed down to Renkaki Kunwe. She makes it count. Villalobos on the other side, denied by George. Colome trying to hit the back door. Rojas can't go anywhere with it. And it goes down. Just as I say that. Rojas with the bucket.
She's 4.
She inbounds it right off the bum of Pellington and lays it in.
We'll see that later on.
And we knew, Natalia, that play from Manuela Rios would be the #1 play. She inbounds off Canada's Pellington, and then with the reverse lay-in. We love seeing that. Let's take a look now at the top scorers. First with the Virgin Islands, we know it's Imani Tate. She is the one doing all the work with 12 points here for the team that is down by 21.
She's done wonderful. Almost, some of the girls from other teams have the quickness to play with these USA guards, but maybe they don't have the quickness and the strength. They're not strong enough. But in the case of Imani Tate, she's used to playing the position from the 1 until the 4 in centro basket. And now we're seeing her attacking the guards from USA who can guard, who are good defenders are, you know, are right in front of her, like you see right there. But she still managed to be productive in the game. Against Owusu there. She's attacking everybody.
She's truly relentless, embodies this entire U.S. Virgin Islands team who is scrappy, and I love watching her play. On the other side, USA's got 2 players actually leading the way in scoring. Aaliyah Boston with 7 and Naz Hillman Baker with 7. Who are we going to show you? We're going to show you the captain, Aaliyah Boston, the 19-year-old from South Carolina, SEC Player of the Year the last 2 years, and you can see why. She's not only the offensive leader for Team USA, she's the vocal leader. You'll hear her on the court talking to her team of where she wants the ball, where everybody needs to be on defense. She's the glue. And Natalia, she did win the Lisa Leslie Center of the Year award last year, averaging 13.7 points and 11.5 rebounds. Much more to come from Aaliyah Boston and Team USA here in the second half. Stick around. Third quarter action will be up in just a moment. Inside the Roberto Clemente Coliseum, Despina Barton alongside Natalia Melendez, the former Puerto Rico national team member. We are at halftime here as USA is out in front by 21 points after the first 20 minutes against the Virgin Islands. We are in the quarterfinal round, so the winner advances, Natalia. The loser goes home.
Yeah, that's, you know, when you're in a tournament like this, you set yourself goals throughout the tournament, right? The first one is to win that first game, and then the second one is to get better, and then after that, what you really want, the big goal that you want at first is to make it to the semifinals, because that's the first goal. When you are in the semifinal, it doesn't matter if you're first, second, third, or fourth, you are going to have that opportunity to go to the pre-qualification tournament for the World Cup in Australia. So this is what they're playing here for today. The team that loses the game will go home. But the next one will, you know, the one that wins will assure their place in the qualification tournament. So far, it looks good for the USA, but Virgin Island is not giving up.
This Virgin Islands team is undersized, scrappy. This is part of their identity. They do the little things, though. They're often overlooked. But, Natalia, what we've seen in the first half is they are competing on the boards with this Team USA, who we know are the heavy favorites.
Yes, they've done in the boards throughout the tournament, and it's been really good. So to have only a 3-rebound difference, and to allow the USA only to get 4 offensive rebounds. Again, this is something you might see against USA. You say, well, but USA is still dominating this game, blah, 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 blah. But this is an experience for this Virgin Island team, you know, that will make him grow and put this team back in the Centro Basket tournament. Right now, the way they are playing the boards against USA will tell you that in the Caribbean, they are one of the best teams there. I'm impressed, I have to tell you. I know how hard they work on the boards. I know we've seen it, you know, but I didn't know if they were going to be capable to do this with the USA. And they are doing it.
Bow to reset. She's guarded by Owusu. Skip pass intercepted. We're going another way.
Nice.
Burton on the board with the feed from Howard.
13 fast break points for USA.
And now you're starting to hear USA a lot more vocal this second half on defense. Again, Coach Staley had a goal as George, with the nice take on the left for 2, was to halt this Virgin Islands squad to single scoring in one of these quarters. They did not succeed in the first and second. Burton lines up, won't go. Natalie Day gets a screen. USA switches. Williams from the corner. Tipped away.
Nice.
Owusu tracking it down. She's got it. A miss.
Good hustle there. Good pass.
Ryan
Boom.
Howard sitting, waiting.
She was just there waiting.
And Howard is not a very vocal or outgoing, you know, personality on the floor. She's just at the right place at the right time. She does all the work, and it's been super impressive to watch her. Now it's Hillman with that last rebound for USA.
Nice
Running the
pass.
lane. It was a tight lane, but Aaliyah Boston will go to the free throw line now.
And that's George's 4th personal foul. She's going to the bench.
Exactly what the Virgin Islands did not want to happen.
In the first 2 minutes of the third quarter. Because when you are defending a player like Boston, it's not only half court, you know, post player. She runs down the court. She'll have you running on the round. That's what George was trying to do. He's trying to get her.
Aaliyah Boston, 19 years old, 6'4", forward for this Team USA and South Carolina. Trap comes for USA. Feed down to Tate against Burton. Owusu Hillman on the cut. Money.
And that's Owusu's fourth assist.
Bow calling for the screen. Create some separation from Howard. Natalie Day, lefty, won't go in. An off shooting day.
Yeah, she haven't scored at all.
Boston tracks down her own board. USA to reset. Owusu back to Hillman. 3 blue jerseys, 1 gets her.
Second personal foul, number 11, Natalie Day. Sub for USA, turn number 4, Destiny Henderson.
Owusu takes a breather. Destiny Henderson, the 22-year-old guard from South Carolina, steps on out to run the point for this Team USA. Howard staying on Bow, full court. Day sees a trap. Matthew goes baseline, carves out a little space, and she gets it to go down.
That was a tough shot, very tough shot.
Howard on the other end. Offensive foul. The Kentucky guard will pick up her first personal foul. Natalie Day, the 30-year-old forward, brings the rock up for Virgin Islands. Williams goes to work against Boston, and it rolls in.
And now Williams is taking charge in the paint. Now this George is out. Everybody collapsed there.
And Virgin Islands sneaks that one away from Boston. Matthew on the run, off. Amani Tate there for the cleanup. Amani Tate now with 13 points, 14 points. Henderson's pass poked away. Tate's on the run again. This time drawing the contact from Howard. A good spurt here from the Virgin Islands.
Yes, they are taking advantage of USA turnovers. They're running down the floor, knowing that it's difficult to stop and playing with them in their, trying to establish their half-court offense. So putting a lot of pressures to play the fast game, the fast break games working right now.
Tate misses both. Henderson surveys the court. Howard, 3, good. A beauty from the wing from Ryan Howard.
Howard's really quiet, but, she have this swag, that's how you call it?
Swagger.
Yeah. She's fun.
Hitting the deck as Virgin Islands gets another opportunity. Natalie Day still without her first points of the contest. Boston turns. She's got a mismatch here. Give it back to her. Skip pass. Burton to Howard. Corner. It's off. Hillman fighting for the rebound, lands in Burton's hands. And Destiny Henderson, a person you don't want to be left open. She'll miss her first.
And I think it's the first game we've seen United States being, not effective from the three-point line. Today they are 2 of 12.
Tate creates space off Burton. It drops. That's been a great shot for her this tournament.
Tate is having a field day right now.
16 of the Virgin Islands, 35 points, nearly half coming from Amani Tate. Boston sticks with it, and she will get dinged up by Tate.
Second personal foul, number 7, Imani KD.
And Boston have been working really hard today. Imagine in every single possession, you had to fight to get the ball.
And number 10, Haley Jones. For Virgin Islands.
Jones is in.
Number
Howard
13,
is out.
Gomba. 22, Yakima Richards. And number 5, Taylor Jones.
It's good for Boston. She's got 9. Shooting 50% from the free throw line today, below the team average for sure. Williams, one-on-one with Boston, and we'll head to the free throw line.
Second personal foul, number 14, Alia Boston.
Melina Williams is making her international debut here with the U.S. Virgin Islands team. She plays for the Charlotte 49ers in Conference USA, just 19 years old for Coach Gungba here. She's one of the youngest on the team. Led the 49ers this past season with 139 rebounds, 6.5 points a game.
And whoever wins this game will go to the semifinals with either Brazil or Venezuela. It's going to be the matchup.
And that game will be played tomorrow night at 6:10 p.m. Berger.
Grace Berger.
Monty Tate. Williams around the horn to Jones. USA back out and running. Haley Jones, one of the only players to dress up today to not have scored yet for Team USA. Shot clock winding down. Jones takes it, draws the foul, and will shoot 2.
And she goes, Despina, look at me now. I'm going to go to the free throw line.
I think she knew.
NCAA champion.
Yep, spent 10.5 minutes on the floor and misses the first. They're looking at head coach Don Staley there. Her team breezing through its first 3 group play games and handily in control right now.
And Berger have the homework of defending Tate.
Konane gets slipped up on the screen. Didn't matter, it was a miss by Gungba. Jones down low to Berger. Turnover USA.
They're 9th.
Gungba here on the floor for the Virgin Islands. Coach's daughter, 18 years old. Will be playing for Radford University as a preferred walk-on. And Boston on the floor, the older sister of Aaliyah. So both Boston sisters on the floor right now at the same time as the shot drops for Berger.
She has 6.
And an opportunity here to make it a three-point play. And a good look here on the floor right now, the 214s, the Boston sisters. Aaliyah Boston for Team USA on the right, and her older sister, Alexis, for this Virgin Islands squad.
We don't have any idea of how many one-on-one these two play when they were younger.
The digital team did tell me that Alexis thinks that she is the better three-point shooter between the two. But yeah, they have a lot of passion and a lot of love for one another. And I don't know how many sisters, Natalia, can say that they suited up for their national teams and competed at the highest level internationally.
Yeah.
Henderson, Konane, pump fake, take. Tracked down by Bao. Boston calls for it on the baseline. Her sister hands her a friendly block.
Come on, give me a break here.
Still doesn't matter if we're in the front yard or in the FIBA Women's AmeriCup.
You know, you're not gonna score on me, on anybody else, but not on me.
Jones' first field goal there. And Imani Tate will push down court. Floater, no good. Jones with the rebound. She'll dribble out of traffic. And Henderson's got the feed to Boston. Tate was left open. Bao, though, not getting her the ball. Henderson on Bao. Pick and roll. Gongba in the corner.
Yes.
In and out. To rebound, though, was Richards. 23 seconds to play in the third quarter. Henderson to Konane. And she is fouled. Naja Gongba got her.
Good pass. Yes, that was a foul. Konane needs 4 points today, 3 rebounds, and she's at 33% from the field and perfect from the free throw line so far. 2 of 2.
Elisa Konane, 20-year-old center that plays for NC State, originally from Summerfield, North Carolina. She's an ESPN All-American, 2021 ACC Tourney MVP. By the way, she led NC State to their first ACC title since 1991. Elisa Konane. Bao, 8 seconds. Henderson guarding her tight. She throws it away. The handoff intended for Richards. Full court pressure. Konane gets the ball, turns and shoots. That one off, but her team out in front by a lot. After 3 quarters of play, it's Team USA 71, Virgin Islands 37.
And so far, so good for the USA. Coach told you, Despina, that they wanted to leave everybody in single digits. Only Imani Tate have 16 points. The next one is Molina Williams with 8. There you see the percentages is 63%, 36%. It's a big difference there. Both are not shooting very well from the three-point line. The rebounds are 38 to 27 USA. Best place of the third quarter.
A great possession and take there by Brittany Matthew, the 27-year-old guard for Virgin Islands. Team USA felt the pressure early. Virgin Islands able to get a couple quick steals and convert in transition. Imani Tate, like you said, Natalia, leading the way in scoring for this Virgin Islands squad. Then you have Ryan, the silencer from the outside.
They have so many offensive weapons. you know, it can be frustrating for the defensive team, in this case, the Virgin Island, because you're not only responsible to stop one or two players, all of them can score. All of them.
And everybody who is suited up for Team USA has scored to this point. You have Grace Berger, Aaliyah Boston, and Naz Hillman, all in double digits. So final 10 minutes of play, Natalia, what do you expect? I mean, at this point, USA is going to keep to their points of what they want to do.
They don't, I'm sorry, Despina. They don't look at the score. That's what I think the instructions are from the coach. They play as if the game were 0-0, just starting. I expect a lot of defense, a lot of pressure for them. They're going to keep continuing working with, in this case, Kunane, you know, playing the inside-out game.
Start of the fourth quarter.
And Virgin Island will continue, like you're seeing there, putting pressure, full court, and trying to establish that fast break game that have worked for them, you know, in some parts of the game.
Henderson, Bow gets a screen. They'll switch, she'll go up with Williams and pick and roll. The work will land Hillman on the free throw line.
Second personal foul, number 10, Lanisi.
And USA is first in points per game with 97. In the three-point percentage, they're third with 31%. This was before this game. Three-pointers per game, they were averaging 7. In free throws made per game, 18. This is the team that goes the most through the free throw line. They're first, second Canada. Canada goes 16 times. They take 16 free throws per game.
Natalie Day, the lefty and new mom, getting tripped up by Jones. George back on the floor playing with 4 fouls. She's blocked by Konane. Berger treads up court. Work on defense, you get the ball on offense. And a reach in against Team USA here, as Natalie Day tried to push the ball forward.
First personal foul, number 8, Grace Berger.
Williams faces Hillman. Bow. Jumpers off. Konane with the rebound. Berger back to Henderson. Konane squares up. Natalie Day surveying the court. Williams takes a shot. A stalemate of sorts these last couple trips up and down the court. Haley Jones keeping her pivot foot there. Slips up. Hillman called for the offensive. This bucket does not count.
That was great defense there.
Second
She
personal
moved
foul, number 11,
with Hillman. Wow, that was nice.
Gilmore Baker.
That's her second.
Melina Williams, who plays for the Charlotte 49ers on Conference USA. Just 19 years old for the Virgin Islands. Shot in the corner from Williams. Snagged by Jones. Knocked away Amani Tate. Defensive pressure. She'll be met with 2 Team USA players, Konane and Jones. and spot up on the free throw line next.
And that's USA's 12th turnover, and every time that happens, Virgin Islands take advantage of that and go coast to coast. In that case, she got contact.
Amani Tate averaging 10.5 points throughout the tournament, has pulled down 34 boards, and shoots about 44%.
And I've seen her time after time working on her right shoulder. I think she's working with that shoulder, you know, in pain or hurt or something.
Henderson, the point guard for South Carolina, feeds Hillman on the cut. Beautiful take on the left, the hook.
Assist number 6 for Henderson. 6 assists in 16 minutes. Not bad.
Flashing is Hillman again. Calls for it. 2 for 2 on the last 2 trips for USA.
And she is doing great today. 17 points, 6 rebounds for Hillman.
Jones guarding Bow. Berger waiting for Williams to take it in. Konane had no trouble pulling that board. Haley Jones, shot deflected through traffic. And Natalia, it looks like this game will be settled by USA, who will go on to tomorrow's semifinals. Natalia, they will play the winner of Venezuela and Brazil.
Yeah, so Venezuela and Brazil, it's going to be a great game today. As you know, Brazil comes as a favorite. We've seen Venezuela getting better and better. You know, are the tournament advanced? But yes, they will have a few hours to recover, and then tomorrow they'll be back at it again, trying to win the game, to go again and be in the finals again.
Team USA is the defending champions.
We have Canada, we have USA, Virgin Islands, and Brazil and Venezuela. And then in the other group, we have Canada, Dominicana, and Puerto Rico and Colombia. That's how it goes. So whoever loses today, all the 4 teams that loses today will go home. The 4 that wins will advance to the semifinals, and at the same time will get that spot to go to the pre-qualification tournament in Australia to play, to get a ticket for the World Cup.
Nice take by Williams. Just the second bucket for the Virgin Islands here in this 4th quarter. Konane, back to Henderson, blocked away by George. Very tricky to be playing right now for George with 4 fouls. How important is it, though, Natalia, to get those little wins, those blocks, those good possessions for this Virgin Islands team to build on?
They have to, they have to make almost everything that they shoot from now on. And right there, 2 points for Konane. Not only they need to take care of the ball, but they need to get some stops. First quarter finished 24-10, second one 22-15, the third 25-12, and this one it's going 9-4 so far. And you know, we can talk about a lot of things that Virgin Island needs to adjust, coming, you know, thinking about being in this AmeriCup next cycle once again. They have to work on their shooting percentages, and definitely they need players that come from the bench and score. See, they only have 5 points from the bench in the first half. They still have 5 points from the bench. You know, it's very tough playing an USA team that have 33 points from those 81s. You know, that second unit needs to make basket, needs to be offensive.
And now it looks like the Virgin Islands have lost their gusto to fight for those boards.
It's been a long 36 minutes. You know, sometimes it's hard to play with professional teams. It's hard to play with women. But when you play a team like USA, they have so much energy, and you know how the NCAA game is. Coaches are very strict, and they have to run 40 minutes with the same energy. First, a second, and the last second is playing with the same intensity. So it's not easy. It's totally normal for Virgin Island to feel tired and to emotionally be drained. They will finish this game, but this time out is because of that, because coach needs to work a little bit more on their mind. You know, we have to finish strong. And you see, the players are talking to themselves. That's a good tactic. Sometimes you just want to hear from other players.
Coach Gongba here. You will see her on the sidelines as she just joined the staff at Georgetown. So she will be, she has been prevalent for the last 2 decades on coaching, but she's the new recruiting coordinator and post-development. That is what she's in charge of. So previous 8 years at George Mason, a family that definitely has been around the Capitol and coaching the last couple decades.
You know, I always think it's very good that coaches from all over the world somehow try to get involved into the NCAA tournaments. Why? Because by them being there, some doors can get open for players from their country. In the case of Coach Gongoba, she now it's that that line in between Virgin Island Federation and the NCAA tournament. And the only way that these countries are going to get better is by sending them players, their players, to compete with the best players in the world. So I think that's great for them, and hopefully we'll see more Virgin Island girls playing in the NCAA.
Gongba, her daughter, on the floor. Funny enough, when she was talking to her mom, and Coach Gongba shared this story while we were in the team hotel earlier, she said, because her daughter got the first experience at the Central Basket. And she told her mom, wow, the women and the size and the physicality of this tournament here in Puerto Rico is so very different. So it's such a learning experience for these young players.
It is. And she haven't seen Cuba and Mexico yet. But again, you know, the Centro Americanos games, which is regional games, are not FIBA involved. It's just the regional games where all the teams from the Caribbean, but that also includes Venezuela, that it's in the south, play in that tournament will be held in El Salvador in 2022. So that's going to be a very interesting tournament for Virgin Island. Their main goal should be to get on that podium, because I think they have what it takes to be in the top of the Caribbean, in the top of one of the Caribbean top teams.
A foul here against Brown-Turner. USA's 4th team foul, so one more, and we may see some free throws here coming up.
South Virgin Islands, entering number 12, Anisha George.
And Bow will get Brown-Turner snagged up this go-around. USA holding the Virgin Islands to 4 points here in this quarter.
We knew their intensity was not going to lower. And we know that it has been this USA Federation, it is packed with medals, and so are the players. But in the case of USA players, the leaders in the medals, you know, playing for the USA, it's Teresa Edwards. She has 5, 4 gold, 1 bronze. Lisa Leslie with 4 golds. I'm talking about Olympics. Sue Birch, 4 golds. Tamika Kachin, 4 gold. Diana Taurasi, 4 golds. And still, I've seen 2 players here that will probably be in Tokyo 2020 +1, I will be very excited. Hopefully we'll see Subert and Diana Taurasi again looking for that 5th medal.
5 times 4, 20 years of dominance for some of these women. Henderson, take is good on the left. The point guard for South Carolina.
She had 4 points and 7 rebounds in 20 minutes.
And a few assists. I know she's been the facilitator today, has been her role. Anisha George. We saw her earlier banging in the paint, and then now playing with 4 personal fouls as Sedona Prince lays it in.
Points at 3 and 4 for her. Also with 5 rebounds.
The defense is sticking to their assignment for Team USA here under the final 2 minutes. Prince with the rebound pushes up. Henderson. Brown Turner. Gets it back from Conane. Berger with the rebound. Foul against Berry.
Berger is everywhere. Everywhere. The ball follows her everywhere.
Number 0, Kadasha Barry, South Virgin Island. Entering number 14, Alexis Boston.
With this win, USA
Shumira Francis.
will get their pass to the qualification tournament for the World Cup. And they've been in 17 FIBA World Cups, 10 golds. 1953, 57, 79, 86, 1998, 2002, 2010, 2014, and in 2018. So they won last AmeriCup. They have 1 silver, 1983, and 2 bronze, 1994 and 2006. I can't wait to see what next World Cup will hold for them.
World Cup 2022 in Sydney, Australia. Those games will be played in September of 2022. So some fall games. I wonder what the weather is like around that time in Sydney.
Sydney's beautiful.
Prince getting some last minute touches here. Conane on the top of the key. Prince will draw the foul, and 2 for her at the free throw line.
Seeing Sedona Prince here, you were telling me this story, Despina, about how bad her injury was while she was at college. And it's just really impressive how she worked through it and never gave up. And we're seeing her here, not only playing for the national team, but also being part of a very successful NCAA program as Oregon.
Yeah, in August 2018 is when she snapped her tibia and fibula. And it wasn't just the recovery, for that surgery recovery. That happened while playing for the U18 team in Mexico City. They had to get her back in the States for surgery. As you can imagine, you're rehabbing. Then they find out there's an infection, Natalia. And then so now you're another surgery. Some mishandlings there with her university physicians is what was alleged. And then her first action, from that incident in 2018 was this past season, her redshirt sophomore year with Oregon. She decided to transfer. The NCAA insisted and did not allow her to play that first year. So her resilience.
It's impressive. And she have become a model for young ladies, not only for what she have done inside of the basketball court, but about how vocal and how she's been using her platforms to address what's not right. So Sedona Prince, ladies and gentlemen, it's an amazing woman. And I'm very proud that she's part of our basketball family. I don't have to be from the USA to feel proud of everything she's done. I'm so happy she's a basketball player and she's representing the whole community so well.
Henderson misses on that take. Virgin Islands will dribble it for the final bucket. It goes down by Francis. And with 0.1 seconds on the clock, this thing is over. USA punches their ticket to the semifinal round with the final score 97-46. A 51-point victory for Team USA. The Virgin Islands now will pack their things and head home. Team USA moves on, and they will play the winner of Venezuela and Brazil tomorrow night at 6:10. Yes, they're waving to their fans, their family. This is the closest they can get to them being in the bubble. As we take one final look at the last bucket and run by Francis for the Virgin Islands. Another dominating performance for the #1 team in the world. Doubling up from the field goal. Rebounds were nearly neck and neck at the break.
They were able to stay close until the first half, but then second one by George having foul troubles. USA just dominate the boards as they wanted.
4 scorers in double digits for Team USA. And so the first game is in the books here on day number 7. Natalia, USA 97, Virgin Islands 46. And we saw everybody play from Team USA except Diamond Miller, the 20-year-old guard. We should expect to see from her tomorrow. So a look at the bracket. Right now, USA the only team advancing at this point. Next up on deck, we have the second game, Dominican Republic taking on Canada. Canada, the top team in Group A. So stick around, a lot more basketball to be played here today. But before we leave you, we're gonna show you the best plays of the second half. Ryan Howard in transition, passing and catching a streaking Veronica Burton. USA played a lot of team ball today, and it was too much for Anisha George to keep up with as she was playing with 4 fouls most of the second half.
Yeah, it was when she went to the bench that USA really, started fully dominating the boards. And it's not that they only have 58 rebounds, it's that 12 of those were offensive rebounds. The points in the paints was a big difference there, 46 to 24. But most importantly, and this is something Virgin Island lacked from the first game, it was the bench points. 49 for USA, 49 points from the 97 points they had today. But from the 46 points of the Virgin Island, they only have 10 from the bench, and it's very difficult. You can get with that to a certain level, but then when you play with a team against this, you need you need everybody to be part of that offense, and that's something Virgin Island needs to continue working, ¿verdad? As they get better as a group. They will get there. They will get there. First, they need to work in the Central American area, and eventually they will, starting to get better and better for this scenario.
USA showing off their depth, their first, second string, everybody scoring that could play. Berger, phenomenal. Not only her passing, her play. And you know what, Natalia? I felt like they got the bigs more involved as the game went on. Because the 3-ball wasn't dropping.
No, at the beginning of the game, they were playing Virgin Island game. The run and gun, nothing half court. Just 1 or 2 with play with Boston's down low. And that was to the Virgin Island advantage. If you're going to play that, run and gun and that running game, that's their game. That's Virgin Island games. Once they have variety in their offense, not only the fast break. Okay, we know we can dominate the boards with the players. Then they created a balance and they look better.
And a goal was reached for Team USA. They held the Virgin Islands to just 9 points in that final quarter. For Natalia Melendez, I'm Despina Barton. Final score here on day 7. In the quarterfinals, USA advances 97 to the Virgin Islands, score 46. Stay with us. Much more FIBA Women's AmeriCup action is on the way.
the Zara Ankle Breaker. Imani David.